Final Fantasy VII Remake was a dream that almost felt impossible to realize until...
We're proud to announce that Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming first to PlayStation 4.
E3 2015, this became a reality. But throughout the development process, fans were on a roller coaster of emotions until we officially got a release date of March 3rd, 2020. The release date was later delayed to April 10th, 2020. While some were disappointed due to having to wait longer, Square Enix dropped a demo that rocked the fanbase.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal?
He's a professional.
What was his name again?
Cloud.
This pump's sole purpose is to drain the planet dry. You gonna stand there and pretend you can't hear the planet crying out in pain?
This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
March 2nd, 2020, possibly the most anticipated demo in all of gaming, dropped on the PlayStation Network. The entire bombing mission that showed us the direction Square Enix will be taking with the story, gameplay, and graphics. I thought that I knew what to expect going into this demo, but I was wrong in the best way possible. The greeting of the introduction music gave me goosebumps, followed by strong emotions of nostalgia. I thought that maybe this demo would be a nostalgia trip, but no, this was the furthest thing from that. Starting the demo, I was presented with the intro scenes that I had seen hundreds of times before, and even so, it hit like it was the first time. The closer I got to Cloud jumping off that train, the more my nerves kicked in, causing me to shake from excitement. The difference this time was I knew I was about to take control of Cloud and experience a game I have been waiting for since Final Fantasy X on the PlayStation 2. Once I took control of Cloud, I couldn't help myself. I was peering into every nook, closely examining every minute detail because I knew this was going to be my only taste of this game for the next month. My first battle was about to begin and my excitement, which was already at 100, went to 200. Hitting Square and seeing Cloud react swiftly, attacking with his Buster Sword was very satisfying. This was far beyond anything Square Enix had done with Final Fantasy. This was not Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy 15. This was a battle system that I felt perfectly represented Final Fantasy VII in the modern day. There were many skeptics when it came to just what the battle system of the remake would encompass, and to be honest, there was a time where I thought it would be a hybrid of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15. I was pleasantly surprised to find this was the furthest thing from that. It took the ATB system and married it with an action RPG styled gameplay. This allowed for more of a layered experience, ATB being a huge factor in just how you strategize in each battle. To add on to an already layered experience, Cloud was able to go into his Punisher mode, which allows for heavier attacks, but taking away the ability to dodge and block. Dodging would immediately take you out of Punisher mode. Barrett also had his own specialties, which is taking down enemies out of reach by Cloud, and is also able to use something similar to a big shot attack at the press of the triangle button. I imagine going forward, every character will naturally have their own specialties and two modes of attacking. Naturally, each character also has their limit breaks, which fill over time and allow you to do massive damage without expending an ATB bar. The ATB gauge is probably by far the best addition, presenting players with hard decisions. Do we use magic to attack, or heal, which also uses MP? Do we use an item, or do we perform a special attack? All these things consume ATB, and in moments where you need to decide to stagger an enemy to deal big damage or heal your near-dead party members will cause players to make big decisions and make this game far more challenging. Further adding to the challenge, attacks cannot be cancelled into a dodge or into a block, which will force players to strategize their attacks, rather than just bashing that square button. This game is not a hack and slash button masher in any way at all. I consider myself to be a Final Fantasy veteran, especially when it comes to Final Fantasy VII, and my battle with the Scorpion Sentinel boss proved far more challenging than I would have ever imagined. You truly have to use everything you learned from the previous tutorials in order to be effective in this battle. I personally have never used so many healing items on an initial boss in my entire gaming life. There are also 2 additional difficulty modes for players who want a change of pace or just find normal mode to be too difficult. Easy and Classic will be perfect for you. Classic allows for players to make commands that consume ATB bars while the AI does all the movement and regular attacks for you. However, you are still able to override controls if it strikes you to do so. Easy mode is, well, normal gameplay mechanics, just easier. This demo is obviously missing the ability to use summons and controlling 2 other characters, Tifa and Aerith. Summons will naturally add another layer to the already great gameplay experience, and the additional characters will have their own specialties in the full game, but we can save that for the full review. If you are like me, you know every beat of the Final Fantasy VII story, and how exciting could a remake of a game be when you've completed that game so many times you have lost count. That's where the remake shines, because although you know the story, there are still surprises in store. Just from Chapter 1 of the remake, it is made very clear that the story is being expanded on without changing the source material, as the dev team has stated. We want it to be new but familiar, and we want to respect the source material of Final Fantasy VII. And after completing this demo multiple times, it is abundantly clear that this is what they are doing. There was enough that made the story surprise me and feel new, but not so much that it strays from what the original intended. These additions only add further context to why things happened the way they did. For example, Reactor 1 exploding was due to Shinra causing the explosion, and not by the bomb that dismantles Reactor 1. I think this game will show us a side of Midgar we would have never known without the remake releasing, and I have never been more excited for a video game in my entire life. What Final Fantasy game is complete without a badass soundtrack to go with it? And done by none other than Nobuo Uematsu, by far one of the greatest composers to ever live. The Final Fantasy VII Remake could quite possibly be his best work yet. If I were to describe what stands out the most to me, I would have to say the soundtrack is a lot more dynamic, and the events on screen truly reflect the tempo, tone, and volume of the soundtrack. Specifically with battles, as you get closer to completing the battle with the Scorpion Sentinel, that music would then ramp up. What I have heard so far has gone above and beyond my expectations, and I can say has topped the originals, which I would have never believed possible before playing this demo. Since the original Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy has been known for having some of the best visuals for its time, and Final Fantasy VII Remake takes that to the next level. Seeing the graphic fidelity of this game running on a PS4 Pro is incredible. The game runs smoothly without any hiccups in frame rate, and having a dynamic resolution ensures a smooth experience at all times. It is important to note that Square Enix did delay the game for polish, and this could very well reflect a noticeably better product by April 10th. The lighting, particle effects, and physics of the game all seem representative of a complete game despite it being a demo that likely was put together long before E3 2019. But still, this is arguably the best demo experience that I have ever had. If it isn't obvious yet, I have no complaints about my experience with the Final Fantasy VII Remake so far, and this could change once I complete the full game. As it stands now, this demo has gone above and beyond all my expectations as not only a diehard fan of the franchise, but a veteran of the original FF7 in 1997. This game has always been an annual 100% run, and my expectations were through the roof. Playing the demo has shown me that this game is truly in good hands, and as I have stated many times before, this is the all-stars when it comes to dev teams. The voice acting is top-notch, the interactions between characters feels organic and smooth, not a single line of dialogue feels forced or awkward. The remake truly captures the heart of the original while expanding on everything we already love. This is my preview of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and if I were to rate this demo, it would be a 10 out of 10. Will the final product reflect the experience I had with the demo? In due time, we will know.